Have you ever had that bucket list race that you've always wanted to do and it finally happened? Well, I did, and this is the race, TransRockies Stage Race, which actually, as of right now, is 50% sold out for 2024. And I'm going to show you my vlog from this year. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you a $200 off coupon code that will help you come check this out too. Trust me, you will be hooked. Hey, it's Coach Lisa with the Running University, and I'm here to help you put the fun in your run. And as much as this is one of the hardest events that I have ever done, it's also been the most rewarding, and I've just so loved it that actually this last year was my fourth time. I've actually run the full thing once as a runner, and I volunteered 3 times. So first time I volunteered was Finish Line Catering. My good friend Joan had seen this crazy race on Facebook where they needed volunteers, and if you committed to the whole week of volunteering, you'd get a free race entry. So this one had been on my bucket list. This was in 2019, and volunteered, worked our butts off, had so much fun. And then unfortunately COVID happened, and then we got to run it in 2021. And I've been so lucky the last couple of years that I've been able to be the Dawn Patrol boss. And that's how I've been able to come back, although I probably would be volunteering in another capacity because I truly can't miss this week every year. It's my favorite week of the year. I have so much fun. It's hard, but it's so rewarding. It's one of the most beautiful places to hang out for a full week, hanging out with some of the most amazing people you'll ever meet. The community's awesome. The race director's awesome. The organization, just all of it. So today, I just wanted to give you, I'm going to say a short little recap of my experience this year. And also, I did put down in the description my the blogs that I wrote a few years back about every single stage. And here I'm just giving a recap with some pictures and sharing my vlog. So here we go. This is, I think, one of the first photos I can find of our trip. I did have one of us in the car ride coming in, but I can't seem to find it. But anyway, this is before the race starts. We're in Buena Vista, and it is Buena Vista or controversial. It's something I actually learned at TransRockies in one of our history lessons from Matt Kavanaugh, who does those. But that's neither here nor there right now. So it's day one. We're in Buena Vista. It's a beautiful location. And here, myself and Elaine are volunteering as Dawn Patrol, and my friends Janet and Joan are running the race. It's Janet's first time. Joan's done this before, has volunteered and ran. So she was running this year. And she's the one who actually got me our first volunteer gig, which I'm eternally grateful because I love this event so much. I've done it 4 years. I volunteered 3 and ran it once. So I'm running as my volunteer gig for Dawn Patrol, which is also, I'm sure that story is going to come up as we go. So trying to get through these quickly, just to show some quick pictures. So Dawn Patrol, long story short, is the group of people who start about 60 to 90 minutes before the race starts. We're not competing. We want to see all the amazing views, but we're a little bit slower. So we just need a little bit extra time from the actual 9-hour cutoff that you have every single day. And thanks again to Myrna Valerio, who's the one who started this, I think back in 2017. And that was basically, she wasn't able to do a stage in the time allotted. So she asked if she could do this. And it's kind of become a thing. I hope it still continues to be a thing. I love all the people who've come up to me and just were so grateful to the fact that having that extra time really helped them. And, it's pretty hard because we're starting earlier. We're also finishing probably later than most people. So big kudos to all the back of the packers out there just as we go. But I love my Dawn Patrol boss name tag that I got. So, of course, there's that. They have a ton of sponsors. I will list them all in the description below because I love supporting the sponsors. I am not a whiskey person at all, but I have to say I tried this and it was really, really good. So wanted to share that. Now, the whole plaid thing is a Huda thing. If you've been to TransRockies, you know this. Huda is the race director. It's pretty much all he wears is this flannel shirt. So it becomes a thing with all the TransRockies volunteers and fans and runners. So last year I was very excited to get this shirt with my name on it because I am the leader of Dawn Patrol and have been the last couple of years. And this is one of my runners and friends, Meg, who got to volunteer at Dawn Patrol with me this year too. It was her first time, so I got her a hat. This is day one of the race, and it's so fun because there's so many people cheering out and so exciting. And these two girls that were here, I think her parents were both here volunteering and or running. But anyway, this is a cute little picture we got before we took off. I don't know what I'm doing here, but this picture kind of cracked me up because the guy here is the photographer from Sportograph. Some of the pictures you'll see that I'm sharing here are from Sportograph. They are the official photographers. I appreciate that TransRockies also shares a bunch of their pictures as well, but I love to get the official ones. And the reason I got this picture is because Gabriele is from Italy, and I was talking to him in English. I was asking him a question. I could tell that he didn't understand what I was saying, so when I asked him what language he spoke and he said Italian, I was super excited to speak in my most rusty Italian ever, but we were able to communicate, and I got to see him every time I got to get out on the course. So here's a bunch of my people. We're at the start line. We're getting ready. And, so here's Joan, Elaine. Here's my Dawn Patrol, Elaine and Meg. We don't have Dawn Patrol on day one because people have plenty of time to finish. Fiona's first time. She'd volunteered before. Here's Tally, who's a regular. We get to see her every year. I mean, again, it's just a huge family, a huge community of just the most amazing people, and I just love this race. And I think this is the I thought this was the video and it would play. Here it goes. And they do and we start every day with this AC/DC song, Highway to Hell. And every time you hear this song now for the rest of your life, if you've done this event, it brings back all the lovely memories. Here is Huda. I told you he had a flannel shirt on. Such a great leader, great race director. Again, this race is just, since the first time I did it, I absolutely love it. I'm addicted completely to the race, the locations, the community, the people, all of it. Here I was on day one. So day one is about a 24-mile day. So the total race, the race is 120 miles, 20,000 feet of elevation gain, and it's in 6 days. So day one, and here I was hanging out. Oh gosh, I think I'm going to say Melissa. I met so many people, so if I mess up names, I'm so sorry, but her bib number was 666, which is funny, so I was running with the devil. Haha. And here's one of the days that I did not choose to bring my poles. I don't know why I did it on this day. I forgot about some major hills on one, but here we are going up. In Buena Vista, this is like one loop in Buena Vista, so we get to stay in town for this day, and we're actually staying at hotels. Now here you're going to see some funny pictures throughout. This right here is our course cheerer, Steve Adderall, who is the Cocodona race director. And it's just, again, the community is amazing. Like, he's the race director for a 250 miler, but he's out here cheering people on every single day, just getting completely exhausted and sharing some good libations. But this day, and he has a different outfit every day, so you'll see these as we progress through the pictures. He was Forrest Gump in this one. I'm sure I probably took a swig of the whiskey or tequila, whatever he had that day. I just thought this was cute. Again, Buena Vista. I just love the bacon bits and sausage link names of the trails. I thought that was cool. And here I am with Chris and Beth. They are both Chi running instructors. It was also their first time. Beth turned 50 this year, so she had heard me talk about this because I've written blogs, which, by the way, I will also put down in the description. And also I have a discount code to share with you, so I'll give that to you at the end, but it's $200 off. But it was their first time, so this was like the first picture we took together. I don't think I included all of our selfies because I needed to limit this video, but Beth is up in the Northwest in Seattle, and Chris is in the Twin Cities. So if you're looking for chi running instructors there, or just go to chirunning.com, you can also find a list of an instructor in your area. So that was the end of day one. Here is Dawn Patrol in the morning, heading out to do Hope Pass. So Hope Pass is day 2. It's probably one of my favorite stages. Stage 3 is really my favorite, but they all have their uniqueness. This is a shorter day, but a much steeper day. We do some heavy climbing, very straight off the bat. And again, for this group of people, they're just not sure if they're going to be able to make that cutoff, and so we go out earlier than the rest of the group and get going. And here's a picture of us outside. Again, it's a pretty good group. And Dawn Patrol, what we've done the last 2 years is we kind of spread out. So there's 3 leaders. I've typically stayed in the back and changed that up. We'll talk about that later. And Meg was in the front and Elaine was in the middle. So we kind of just basically keep the paces there for this group of people. So it's a pretty good group of people who really, came and hung out with us. Here's, again, the sportograph. You could see this is one of their pictures. They take great pictures. It's always worth it for me to spend a little extra money to get the very professional photos. And again, I try to get a little cheery in my outfits. I'd love to get more costumes, but it's so hard to pack because we only have a limitation on the bags that we can bring. So I love pink and purple, my favorite colors, and a lei that had both of those I thought was just a fun way to add a little bit. Here we are, we're starting to go up Hope Pass, and on this day I did choose to be at the very end to make sure, basically sweeping. And here we are again, we're leaving about 90 minutes, maybe a little less, before the pack catches up to us. And our mission is to try to get through this single track and to the top, or as close to the top as we can, because once the pack catches up to us, we move aside because it's just the right thing to do, and let them go by. And that does slow us down more. So, but at the same time, obviously they get to go first. So, and here I am with Wendy, and unfortunately, because of some asthma, she was feeling great outside of that. And of course, we're at elevation, and it just wasn't really safe to keep moving forward. So she decided to turn around, and for safety purpose, I didn't want her to go by herself. So I turned around with her. I did miss Hope Pass this year, but that's okay. I've done it before. It'll be there some other year. And here the pack is starting to catch up to us. This right here is Rory. Whoops, that was weird. This right here is Rory. He is on the Aravaipa racing team, and he was doing the 3-day race. He actually won the 3-day race. And I always say with the elite people that I know, I'm never going to be in front of them, so I always have to get a picture when they're behind me and coming up on me. And here again, did run into Chris and Beth again. They actually ran as a team. So you can run individually and you can run it as a team. When TransRockies first started, this was a team event. You had to be with a team. And as a team, you have to stay together, or at the 8 stations and the finish, you have to be, I don't remember what it is now because I've never done a team, 2 minutes within each other. It might be less than that. I'm not sure. But you have to come in pretty closely together. So they always looked happy every time they came on me. Just a view, looking out again. The locations here are just amazing. I've always been a beach person until I started doing TransRockies, and I love the Rockies. Here's a picture at the end of day 2. This is after dinner and before our regular volunteer meeting. So we actually just had quite a few people from our local Aravaipa community here. And you see, again, Steve Adderall, the race director from right here from Cocodona. This is John Bullock. He works for Aravaipa. He's also a coach. And Noel, who used to work for Aravaipa but volunteers a lot. Meg as well, one of my runners. Again, Meg and Elaine were my Dawn Patrol. But we all do all the Aravaipa races. There are a few more people that we happen to miss in this photo, but it was just fun for us to all be together somewhere else. This is Dawn Patrol the morning of stage 3. It's, I think the longest stage or close to it, it's about 26 miles. It's probably my favorite stage. I'll show you more why, but here's part of the group. It's not everybody. You could see, again, we had another big group because it was a long day, and people just wanted to make sure they got in on time. Here by the classic Leadville sign, it's not the first time I take a picture here, but hey, it's pretty cool. Love Leadville, very quirky little town, and you know, you're up in 10,000 feet of elevation. Here is Rory coming up the hill again at me. I'm never going to be in front of him. So there's another picture. And I just kind of wanted to give the idea here. This is a nice hill. You could see we're climbing all the way up here, and it keeps going. And when you get close to the top here, again, you can see the people coming up this right here. I mean, again, these gorgeous views are just amazing. Here, same thing on this hill, Judah, who also used to work for Aravipa, but she's part of our local running community as well. She was doing this with a friend of hers, so I had to snap a picture with her. There again is Steve, this time again, that's that infamous whiskey that I thought I would never like, but here I am drinking it anyway. You know, again, you're in the middle of these. I'm never trying to win. I'm not winning the race at all, ever. But these little moments are just, you know, you could hear him yodeling throughout, so you just couldn't wait to get to him, knowing he had something that might just help you a little bit further along the way. And here I am with Allison. This was such a great time on stage 3 for me. You just meet some of the most amazing people at this event. And I always, when I just walk up to somebody or a group, or I just go like, what's your story? Why are you here? And she just had an amazing story. Long story short, I think it was a few years ago, she had COVID pretty bad and almost died, was literally kind of on her deathbed. And it was this same week, like a couple years ago. And so I'm getting goosebumps just telling the story. Her husband's actually the one who told me the story, because she was silent when I said, what's your story? And he said, well, let me tell it to you if she's not going to. And just had such a great time talking with both of them. And again, I just love, you meet the coolest people. And I'm just so glad that she got to experience that. And actually, you know, she was tempted to stop. She was doing the 3 days, not all full 6. And when she got to the checkpoint 2 where she could, I kind of told her, like, you made it this far. Like, you're so close. It's all downhill from here. And it was. And her husband actually did finish it, and they came in at the end. They were like I think they were dead last on the stage, which was such a great way to see them come in together. This is just my random, you know, when you're hungry and you're kind of in a hurry to get through an aid station, you just throw all the stuff in a bag. That's what I did. It was very funny. I just had a bunch of randomness in here. You could tell Twizzlers, peanuts, Skittles, M&Ms. Now we're getting ready to, I literally couldn't wait to get here, because this is about where my favorite part of this stage kind of starts. We're on the Continental Divide, which is a pretty cool, you know, again, trail. And some of it's single track, some of it was wider, and you're just going downhill. And as a chi runner, when I'm just running downhill, I'm in my happy place, especially a nice, easy, runnable hill. So that was part of it. I asked a guy at this point to take a picture of me while I was going down the hill. Here you see it's a little bigger than a single track. So, because I'm just enjoying, I just love this part of the trail. So I didn't take as many pictures of the environment because I had seen it before. Here is where I came up to Heisel, and I'd met her too. She was also doing 3 days, and sorry if I said your name wrong and you're listening to this. But she was waiting for her friend who was so close. But unfortunately, I'm always one to say, if you need a cutout, you need a cutout, especially if you're in pain. And her friend's blisters were just too bad to finish the last 3 miles on this day. So here we are, I think, doing a shot of Fireball with some ginger ale. And so we decided to stay together for the last 3 miles and and again, great conversation. It was so great to get to know her. And here back at camp, and a random picture here with Allie, who is just So fun. I got to spend most of stage 1 with her. She was supposed to be running, but then ended up with some issues, and just a volunteer, mega volunteer. Like, she's been there in Moab. Moab is another one of their races. And such just a positive, great energy. Also a personal trainer. I had no idea. At any rate, we had some great conversations too. Here is a video of the beginning of stage 4. And again, I think I'll just maybe play part of it.
You got 5 minutes. All right, let's pull that tape. I'll count you down.
Can I make an announcement real quick?
Anyway, and here's Steve again. So stage 4, again, shorter stage. The excitement about stage 4 is that you end up at a restaurant called Mangoes in Red Cliff, and, you know, we get to have margaritas, which are not my favorite personally, but, and everybody's kind of hanging out, and it's an earlier day because it's a shorter day, but also still a pretty hard day because it's very steep. And again, Steve, strategically positioned in some of the places where we're almost at the top. And again, always just great to run into him because it's just you get a little shot maybe, and just a little bit of change of energy. Here I am somewhere pretty much on the top of stage 4. I think I have a few pictures here. Again, just loving the views. And I guess I haven't been honing in on my outfits because I do try to be strategic a little bit about them, but you know, whatever. This right here is a picture I took probably before the other one, and this picture means so much to me because this is the true spirit of TransRockies. And here, oh my God, Mike? Oh my God, I meet so many people and I forget their names. Rob. Anyway, you know, here, this is one of the queens, and the queens of New York. They're like volunteers. They've been here the last 2 years. Awesome energy, amazing women. I mean, I say there's a special place in heaven for these ladies because you see them everywhere. They're volunteering, they're helping out. On stage 4, a lot of the volunteers get to actually do the stage because we stay in the same campsite for 2 nights in a row. So we're at Nova Guides, which is my favorite campsite, with no service for 2 days, which is amazing. And a lot of the volunteers, because they don't have to take the tents up and down, we're all staying in one place for these 2 days. A lot of volunteers get to do this stage. So she got to do it. She was cutting the cutoff so close. And here he is. He grabbed her bag. He gave her one of her poles. I don't know if that was his poles or her pole. And literally got her to the top. And she finished. She had the passion and the drive. She got it done. And he was huge in helping her do that. And I just love this picture. I nominated him along with a bunch of other people for the Hard Hat Award. It's an award they give out every day for people who are going above and beyond to help other runners. Again, this community is just amazing. Again, it's just a good picture of me just saying how you can just tell how happy I am. I'm in my happy place. I love doing this. As Dawn Patrol, I did have a chance to do the whole course. It's not something I would normally always do. Like last year as Dawn Patrol, I only went up to the first checkpoints. I wasn't trained to do the full event. I did do stage 2 and 4 because they're shorter and it doesn't make sense to turn around unless I had to, like I did this time. Yeah, just love this course. And here I am wearing my Keep Ultra Running Weird hat that I got from the Catula booth, and also bought me a new pair of Catula gaiters, which I absolutely love. And here, this is a picture I take almost every year that I've been there. So here we are at Nova Guides. Again, it's a beautiful location, no service. Elevated Legs is one of the sponsors. I only used them once this time, but when I did the full race, I used them like 2 or 3 times. I have my own pair. They're kind of like a knockoff pair. Love these things, though. And of course, got to have a little beer while you're just hanging out there and enjoying this scenery. This is one of the pictures taken by one of the photographers. I'm sure slightly enhanced, but one of the coolest things about this particular camp ground is because there's very little, lights from city, if any at all. When you wake up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom, I always just make it a point to look up. It's absolutely amazing. You can see the Milky Way It's just, again, it's just so beautiful. Here, we're on stage 5. Again, it already started. At this point, I think this was the first day that we came up with the idea, instead of me being at the back, because at the back I was with a lot of the same 4 or 5 people. I really hadn't had a chance to meet a lot of the Dawn Patrol people, and I wanted to meet them. So Meg came up with a great idea, which is how I do my group runs anyway, but for me to start at the front and then work my way back and chat with people, and that's what I got to do. So I got to talk to a lot more people on this day. And here, I did take this picture because I love that aid station volunteers come up with the coolest little different things. So these were pieces of banana with, I think, peanut butter M&Ms on there. They were amazing. Here's Steve again. I can't remember if it was Naughty Santa Claus, Sexy Santa Claus, I don't remember. But definitely, again, just fun to be out on a long day and being able to have some fun. And here again, a sportograph picture of me. Love this picture in the green. And of course, smiling as always. Oh, this one's out of place. I thought I put these in order. I must have missed this one. This is the end of stage 4. So getting into mangoes. And there's some water crossing at one of my favorite spots. It's fun. It wasn't as long. I want to say last couple of times it was almost a mile long. It was much shorter this year. And here's Dia. He is in charge of the course, so he makes sure the course is all set. He's in charge of the, getting it marked, and also all the sweepers. So appreciate all the work that he does, because I'm sure that's a hard thing to do and coordinate. And we had to work with them on a couple of things with Dawn Patrol. So appreciate their support. Again, I just can't help show these pictures. Again, this is a sportograph picture. I'm having a blast, as always. And I will say, again, I was trained thanks to Chi running. I mean, I did a lot more hiking than running, but I've got to say, I don't know that I felt any soreness at all on any day. Might have been a wee bit tight, but I felt great the whole time. A lot of it is just going into it with the mindset that I just love doing this. But definitely was well trained. And again, the Chi running and the Chi walking are such a game changer for me. And here's one of the sweepers. So I think we're leaving. It's the beginning of the day out on the road from Vail. So we were at the Vail campsite, and actually that night before, I got very lucky. We got to be in a hotel room, so really appreciate that. And again, here, that outfit, I love rainbows, and so I put a little. Again, I didn't have that many outfits, but I might have to change that. And I was with a few of the ladies here from Dawn Patrol. Again, we didn't start early. We made some changes on this day to accommodate just a variety of things. There's a single track, and I don't like to get caught up on the single track. So actually, Dawn Patrol divided up into 3 different groups doing different things. Meg led people who did the full stage, which was awesome. Elaine's group got shuttled from one stage to another stage to, take about an hour off. In my group, we did like the first 3 miles and then the last 4.5, which were legit as well. And just a way so that people could still experience the finish line. So here we were on the bridge, and then of course we saw the slow zone sign, and we couldn't not take a picture of it because we are the slowest. And there's a turtle on a bicycle. I mean, hello. And here we are when we all got shuttled now to the second part of our stage, and here's our Dawn Patrol group. Again, my group. So we actually had 2 other Dawn Patrol groups out there on this day. Here is Hector, and I have a couple other pictures of him, but Hector was basically the winner of the whole thing. And he's from Mexico, I think Mexico City, and my God, this guy was incredible. And I always say this about Dawn Patrol or about Back of the Packers. It's a different kind of hard. Like, I can't imagine getting through these stages in the time that he did, because it would take us about 3 to 4 times that amount of time. But the most humble guy I've ever met. He's coming up and he's giving you little fist bumps. He's cheering us on. We're cheering him on. Actually, there's just such this great camaraderie between the elite and the Dawn Patrol. Again, the community is amazing. So appreciate all that support and love from everybody. And here we are. All of a sudden we hear some some gospel music, and Joanna was like super excited. And here again is Steve, Jesus on the trail. He was saying some funny stuff about drinking the blood of Huda. Again, the race director. He had grape juice. There was some wine, some vanilla wafers as well. So again, some good cheering and humor on the course. Here at the end, we finish at Beaver Creek on this last day. Here I am again, race director Kevin Huda and Dia, the course director. And here at nighttime, they have this lovely banquet that you get to go to, and it's fun. And here's again Beth and Chris, who placed. I'm so proud of them. They placed, I think, third in the team for theirs. I think they were competing as the 100 plus because their ages combined were over 100. So there's a couple of different team things that you can be on. So very proud of them. And the last picture is my coupon code. So this is our picture. We're going back to the airport in Denver, and that we're all sad. But, of course, I'm sure Janet's already signed up for next year, and we'll see what happens here. But I'm sure I'll probably be there also. And here you go. Even though this says $100 off with Dawn Patrol, I actually mistakenly took the wrong one. You can still use Dawn Patrol 100, but you actually get $200 off this time. So again, I put down in the description some blogs that I wrote a while ago if you want more detail, and you can certainly reach out to me. But Dawn Patrol 100 will get you $200 off the race as of me recording this today, 50% full, and I know it'll sell out because it does every year. So anyway, there you have it. Let me know if you have any questions.